Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time to look at the astrology and Kabbalah of the month of October 2023. We have had quite a active September out in the world. Personally, most of the planetary motion in September was retrograde. So there was a lot of introspection. Things are starting to move forward. It will take a while for the other planets to start going retrograde. But as we start October, Venus and Mercury are both direct. And Venus is just about ready to come out of her shadow. So we'll take a look and see what that can all mean for us. All right, so we're looking at the astrology and Kabbalah of October 2023. We'll start with the numbers and the tree of life and where they sit on the tree of life. So as always, we start with the universal year vibration. It is the vibration of the entire year. It is a 7 vibration. It says here that this is a vital year to take a collective pause as we prepare for massive reset. The diffuse energy of 7 beckons us to go inward, quiet down, slow down, and sit with ourselves. Well, certainly September was good for that. To study, analyze, ask questions, and peel our personal onions as we contemplate bigger questions. Deep shadows rise to the surface, both collectively and individually, and we certainly have seen that happen. This is the path between Baina and Gabura on the tree of life. It is the path of the sign of Cancer. Cancer is according to occultists, the path to manifestation. Cancer is associated with the mother and the womb and children. And so all of us are born through our mothers. There is no exception to that. The path is called the intelligence of the house of influence. It is the path of the Chariot card, which we see here on the lower right. The Chariot is the vehicle of the force of spirit. The vehicle carries, conveys, or expresses. And so 7 really is the 7-year has been for us to come to understand our purpose. Why are we here? Who are we really? Okay. The mystery here is that form acts as a limitation, but it is not. It is a protection. Form is the ring knot, past knot, a finite field of activity in which the force of spirit resides. New force will dissolve old forms. This is the creative process. You are the creative force. We are moving through a very intense period of evolutionary change, and it requires us, because we are it and we are part of it, it requires us all to go through some sort of metamorphosis. And this particular path is located in the path of the pillar of the future, or the pillar of severity. And so in a way, we're creating our future in the moment. And we can't really go very far ahead. We need to focus our intention. We need to focus inward. We need to find who we are at the core of ourselves. Why are we here? What is our purpose, right? And then with that, move forward in confidence that even if you can't see where you're going, Spirit can. All right, so now we're looking at the monthly vibration of 10. And 10-1 is the number of change. Okay. This will be a new beginning that will give the opportunity to take initiative. Rearrange and reorganize with the ultimate goal in mind, working with the wisdom of the past experiences. So this path This 10-1 path is located here, and you can see it's in its way a little bit of a mirror image. The difference is that the 7 path is all in the higher realms, right? This is the supernal triangle, the spiritual triangle. This is the soul triangle. This is the personality and the lower self. Okay, so the 7 vibration is in the higher place, in the higher realms, whereas the 10 vibration bridges the veil of Parakat, which bridges the higher self from the lower self. This path connects Hesed, which is the Sephiroth of Jupiter. Jupiter is in Taurus right now, and Netzach, the Sephiroth of Venus. Venus starts the month in Leo and then moves relatively quickly into Virgo. As she starts the month, she is emerging from her shadow. She is emerging from her shadow. And then once she has emerged and sort of gets to like sort of stand in the glory of the last degree of Leo, she then swiftly shifts into Virgo and gets started on the work that needs to be done now that she understands her true value. If we look at the path on the tree of life, this is the path of the conciliating intelligence. It mediates between Hesed, universal principle of production, and Netzach, the universal sphere of feeling and personality. That which balances emotions and evens out the personality. This is the vibration of the 10. The 10 is the wheel of fortune. You could be at the top, and the next thing you know, you're at the bottom. You can be at the bottom, and the next thing you know, you're at the top. It's a cyclical process. And so we will see the mighty fall and the meek rise. The meek become mighty and they fall too. So it's a cyclical energy. And the focus with the 1 needs to be in the center of the circle right here as you watch things go around. Okay. It's kind of like an astrology chart. The chart sits around, but you are the center of the chart. Okay. All right. The only constant here is change. So if we're expecting a nice stable month, we won't get one. And its astrological attribution is Jupiter. And as I said, Jupiter is in Taurus. So not only does it connect the Sephiroth of Jupiter to the Sephiroth of Venus, the 2 benefics, mind you, the path itself is a Jupiter path. And where's Jupiter in? Jupiter is in Taurus. If you notice, there's quite a bit of Taurus. This is Uranus in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus. The path of Jupiter is in Taurus. And this path here is the path of Taurus, where Jupiter is. So this is all the pillar of the past, all of this past energy. Past lives, past understandings, who we've been is pouring down into us right now, informing this, where we've come from, what we've done up to this point, and now what we're being asked to do in this life. So this is a really potent time for us to come into a realization that we are much greater than we ever thought we were. And yet we have much to learn and much work ahead. Just because you have a certain amount of capacity, knowledge, experience, talent, everything evens out. You're going to need it all to move forward. And this is sort of the energy of this month. And of course, this month is the month of the eclipses. Now, there are the South Node eclipses, and the South Node is in Libra right now. And so there is this energy of how do we relate to each other? So how does that need to change? And we certainly can see that in the larger scope of things, right? With as I do this, I'm doing this on the last day of September. By midnight tonight, the government of the United States will be shut down because they can't agree And who's they? Well, the Republicans can't agree, and they're not. And as it stands now, the head of the Republican House refuses to work with Democrats, even though that would get him out of this situation and forward that the people in the United States wouldn't get harmed. Okay, the government wouldn't shut down. Food wouldn't be coming out of the mouths of children and mothers. People who work paycheck to paycheck won't be put in harm's way. Those people that work around places of like the lunch ladies at the government in places, not they're not government workers. They just happen to work in a place where all the government workers work. And if the government workers aren't there, they're not going to get paid. And these people are really at the edges, right? So this is, so that could be avoided. But fortunately or unfortunately, and I don't know what's going to happen, it would require Kevin McCarthy, the Speaker of the House, to be willing to give up his power for the good of the people. Now, it's not to say that he I guess he could get, taken down by his crazy people. Talking to the freedom people, even though it's not really freedom, it's the opposite of freedom. It's authoritarianism, but that's another story. And insanity, that's another story for another day. We're not going to get into that. But the Democrats could, give him a hand up if they wanted to. We'll see what happens, but we can see this energy right now as I do this, right as we're on the cusp of this new month. All right, let's see. Continue. And then we're looking at the combination of those two vibrations, the yearly vibration of 7 and the monthly vibration of 10. And we add that together and we get the 17, 8 vibration, which on the tree of life is located right here between Netzach. Now remember, this is getting activated by the 10, right? The Wheel of Fortune. So it is the path between Venus and the moon. And the moon, we have 2 eclipses. So this is a very powerful month. And of course, the 8 is as you sow, so shall you reap. So if we thought September was the hammer coming down, and and there were quite a few Thor's hammers last month. So it's understandable that the hammer came down. Yeah, so this is good. If you've been good, this is good. If you've been not so good, this is probably not good news for you. Okay. So we're at the star here. We're looking at the star card. It's a time for meditation. It mediates between Netzach, the sphere of emotions and personality, and Yesod, the subconscious mind. So the gateway to our feelings and our emotions and the subconscious mind, that's what this is like. Right, this is the path getting activated. And this is the Aquarius path, by the way, it's the Aquarius path. And what upcoming thing is coming into Aquarius for the next 20 years? Well, Pluto. So what I'm talking about here, we're going to have Pluto sitting on that spot for 20 years, right? So we're not done with this energy per se, but it is an opportunity with all of this energy coming up and coming out. It is really about coming to understand a lot of the way that we do things is very trauma inducing. And that's a paradigm that we no longer need to have. But however, it does make for all these people who are feeling things and maybe don't have the knowledge, or there just isn't enough energy for these people to have a place to go. And so it's important for those who have understand the energy and understand that this is a time of healing. Like, all healers come to order. We are all being called, and not, you don't have to have a doctor or a PhD or anything, or be a very powerful person, or not. In fact, the more power you have, the less likely you are to be willing to do the healing. Yeah, so this is a time of great healing. It's astrological attribution is Aquarius, as I said. It's access to the universal mind through its connection to your subconscious mind. That's what meditation is. So this is one of those months where, if you start your mornings with a meditation, whether it be a walking meditation or just a few quiet moments, maybe get up 10 minutes earlier than you normally would when your house can be quiet, or maybe, set your, have a time in the middle of the night when it is most quiet, when you can open yourself up to that. This is also a potent dream time, because meditation in its way is almost like a semi dream state, right? And so while you're falling asleep, maybe listen to some music that will help you to get into the right frame of mind. Maybe you don't want to go to, listen to some political thing or something right before you go to bed this month. This month is important to keep your mind open, and your heart open at the same time. It is time to contact your guiding star. It says here the vibration of the 17-8 is this vibration can do and accomplish anything you are willing to make sacrifices for. You are a natural leader and can pioneer the spiritual truth on the material plane. If we look at the chakras activated simply by these three vibrational paths, or the vibrations on these paths, we see we have the third eye and the throat activated through the path of the chariot. This is between Baina and Kabura, Saturn, and Mars. Okay. This path is the path of the Wheel of Fortune. It connects the throat chakra, the solar plexus. The throat chakra is where divine will moves through us, through the throat chakra. That's how we are co-creative with spirit, with our words, with our vibration, what we're vibrating out there. That's why your words create your reality. So if you say, "Oh my God, this world is such a freaking mess," what are the chances are that your life's going to be neat and orderly? This world is manifesting itself in perfect timing. This world is changing and manifesting into its best world, its best self, right? Which would you rather, which two of those things would you rather bring into your life? Okay. It's important. And then it connects to the solar plexus, which is our personal will. The solar plexus chakra is called Manipura. It means lustrous gem. The luster from the gem comes from the divine light that pours down and then expresses itself through our personal will, our choices, what we go after, what we do, aligned with divine will. And whose divine will? What divine? God, Goddess, Jesus, whoever, Krishna? It doesn't matter, because it's you. It's you. It's your divine light that shines through you. We are both God and a part of God, or goddess. There is no gender in that, not in the ultimate oneness. All right. And so we're expressing that, and this is an opportunity. In a way, it would help us to move out of the way so we can manifest. And what's going to happen is, if we get in our own way, the wheel keeps turning. We can't resist the change. The change is happening, and we have to kind of just go with it. But if you're aligned with your higher self, if you're aligned with your heart, and you're open, You know, I am here. I am here. I am ready. Guide me. Right. The mantra of self ascension for anybody who knows the work of Shri and Kira. And then we have the star card, which connects the solar plexus to the sacral plexus right here. And so this is like a deep belly feeling here, deep belly feeling. And highly, highly creative. If we look at the vibrations, third eye is intuition, throat is articulation, solar plexus is power, sacral is creativity, the ability to create. Now, eventually, the path to the root chakra will be activated. And let's see, so that's going to happen next month. That's going to happen in November. November, this path, the 18-9 path, gets activated. And so a lot of this will be manifested. It comes down to the earth, the grounding of this energy. So it's a very exciting time to be alive. It is. All right. So that's the Kabbalah part. And I think what I'm going to do, which is a little different than I normally do. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to stop. I'm going to leave this to be the numerology and Kabbalah of the month. And then I'm going to, in a separate video, I'm going to do the astrology. So if you want to know about the astrology, I'm going to go over the first week. There's a lot of information, a lot of stuff, a lot of adjustments that we need to make. We are sort of walking through the gauntlet this week. And I'll talk about that in the astrology. So until a minute from now, if you want to continue with this, like and subscribe if you would. If you'd like to become a patron, people on Patreon generally get these things sooner. I usually have this done before the last day of the month. So apologies to my Patreon people for not having this out like last week. But the taroscopes come out about a week or so ahead of time. And they can sort of set you up. And don't forget to check out the taroscopes. I do taroscopes for all the signs at the beginning of the month. And so it's a good idea to look at your sun sign, your moon sign, your ascendant. And it's a little astrology. They're about 30 minutes long this month. It's about 15 minutes of astrology and 15 minutes of card pulling, give or take. Card pulling is usually faster, but so check those out and stay tuned for my astrology of the first week of October, which is coming very shortly. Take care, everyone. Namaste.